Okay. Welcome to the stream. I think I'm live right now. So let's get into it. Let's get into this. All right. So in today's episode of First Person Business, episode 2, we're going to be focused on some value infrastructure on how we plan on building a sustainable business model for the next 6 months and the next, but within the building of the next 6 months, but it's going to be lasting for the next decade in the media stage as one person. So my idea behind this is actually to understand what value am I bringing into the table, or what value, as you can see, you will be bringing into the table as a builder, as a AI operator, what system and services you're going to be offering, and how you can build the relationships for long-term longevity. Okay, so I want to start this off on hopping into my mirror board, and that's important because um I really want to understand this from a framework perspective. This will be the much more easier standpoint of us building out this whole infrastructure. So let's hop into this. So what I'm going to do is going to pop up a mirror window. Just creating a window for it real quick, right? And let's capture this board. Okay, put that right below this. Okay, I think we're good. All right. I really wished. Do I need to have all this up? I don't think so. So let's see. We're gonna build this on our $100 million content infrastructure because it's just important to have over there. All right. So let's definitely get into the idea behind this. Is my picture this too big? I'm gonna drop the size of this a little bit. Is that a great size? I'm gonna check on my phone. Okay, so as you can see, I have a lot of frameworks I have been working on. Okay, so this is my highest picture quality. All right. How's my audio? Testing my audio. How does that sound from here? Like if I'm standing right here, how does that sound? Let me see. Tell me, YouTube. Okay, so this is my highest picture quality. All right. How's my audio? Testing my audio. How does that sound from here? Like if I'm standing right here, how does that sound? Let me see. Tell me, YouTube. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Saint, for informing me of that. All right, bet. All right, so this one thing I just want to fix with the stream real quick. I want to hide the. Actually, I shouldn't even worry about that. I'll just leave it as it is. Okay. So, like I said, today I'm trying to figure out and build something. My whole system. The thing is, I have so much ideas on things that I want to build, right, for my business, but I can't do everything. That's the problem, right? So my idea behind this is to build a system that allows me to accomplish a lot by focusing on one thing, right? So basically, I'm going to be compounding on one creation into multiple distribution with less effort into creating it, but more output into executing it. Okay, so that's the whole idea behind this. And I want to start off by creating that avatar for that idea, right? That would be the best place to start. So let me just find some empty spacing to work with. How large do I want to work? What is this down here? Oh, this is an idea that I had before. Let's move that to the side. Let's zoom out a little bit. Okay, zoom in. Get this out of the way. How big do I have to be natural size to the rest? Okay, this size. Okay, great. So let's create that avatar, right? So I'm going to be working with boxes for now. So we've got some shapes here. Oval. So I'm picturing this as me. All right. Let's give this some thickness. All right. And let's change the color into white. Let's give it some inner color. So this is me. Or I could say you. Right. This is the entity that we're trying to provide value to. This is the entity, the brand, the product itself. You, right? Now, I feel it would be much more fun drawing this out, but you know, I'm gonna stick to this. All right. Okay. So this is that entity. Now, this individual, you, is trying to provide as much value as possible to a marketplace that does not know of his existence as of yet, right? Now, in order to bring that existence or provide that existence, he has to have some services. He has to have three type of services to provide this type of existence and this value. So he's gonna have a service. Okay, so let's draw that service box. Okay, service types, right? So he's gonna have some service types. I do not like this color whatsoever. So let's change that about. Pub ending. Okay, this can work for now. And let's change the text into. That looks a little bit too much. Okay, perfect. So he's gonna have some service types as this individual, right? And we have to understand right now what are the service types that this one person, you, is going to be providing to that marketplace. Now, there's three different types you can work with, right? So we're going to extend this into three different types. Okay. So there's a done for you. That's a done for you service type. There's a done with you service type. And there's the done by you. No, not done by you. There's a done for you, done by you, and done by you. Yeah, I'm tripping. Done by you. Okay. So that's the three different type of service models that you can provide to a marketplace. All right. So I'm really trying to break this down into simple understanding. So this is what we're going to be bringing into our service business. Change up the colors so we can see, because it's really thin. Is there a thickness I can control? Okay, yeah, there we go. Awesome. All right. Now, although we understand that, yeah, we have to have, like, to be ordered to provide as much value, we need to have all these three service types involved in our ecosystem, but we're missing really high value and understanding what are the values within these service types that we can actually, you know, progress in. Like, what are those that we're trying to increase our habits with? Okay, so there are a few. Okay, now these few are kind of, how to say, controversial, but not really. But we're trying to understand the form of value for all of this, right? So let's extend this right here, and we're trying to understand the form of a value that comes out of this system, right? Okay, so we're trying to understand the form of value that comes out of the system. Now, in my case, there's 7 different types of value that I'm looking for. Okay, as a person like myself, someone who has already moved from trading time to low wages to building a system that creates leverage, you can operate across, well, I can operate across multiple different types of level of values. And here are the practical hierarchy of value creation ordered from foundational to expensive. Okay. So understanding this is knowing your business model. So let's put it down as this. Okay. First, there's the direction of value. There's actually direction transaction value. Now, the direction transaction value has to do with, like, you solving a specific problem a specific person or business right now is having. It's more like a done for you content or a custom offer or a piece of automation, a strategy call. This is like the base layer that pays the bills and builds proof. It's necessary but limited by your personal bandwidth. Okay, so this is what is called the direct transaction value. Okay, now this is very important to have within your business infrastructure as well. So let's change that into green for now. And let's change this. Let's just stretch this out. It's looking a little bit clumpy. Okay. Let's change the color of this one into red and green and what? Green and yellow? Yellow, so bright. Okay. Right. So that's the directional transaction value. Okay. Now, up next we have the productized package value. Did I copy this correctly? No. Paste. Oh, there we go. Wait, can I just do this? Awesome. Amazing. Okay. So we have our productized probably like slash packaged value, right? And this is basically what you turn what you do into something that can be delivered without you being present. Um, like every time you can create like a template, a framework, or course, playbook, digital products, the same insight, but now served to dozens or hundreds of people. But you create it once. This is what creates that productized package value. Okay, so this is what we need in order to have the service types and the form of value compound to one another. Okay, all right. And thirdly, we have let's say let's say systems and process value. Okay, and with this is when you design the operating system that lets other people or AI agents produce the results you use to produce manually. So it's you building that system that allows your work to be used by the agent or a client. They can do it themselves manually off the operating system that you built, a system, a process that is basically automated after a while, right? It's the workflows, it's the agentic, it's the offer building pipelines. You are no longer the bottleneck when you come to this status of building your business, right? And building the value under that business, okay? And we're gonna get down into how we're gonna place our businesses that we currently have and where we want them to be placed while we're doing this, okay? Now, fourth on the list, we have our multiplicative teaching value, okay? Slash teaching value. Okay. Yeah, so multiplicative, did I spell that right? Yeah. Multiplicative teaching value. So this is where you equip your capable, basically, you equipped other capable people to create value or levels 1 to 3, these right here. And through a cohort, a mentorship, or public framework, you present that. That can be through a webinar or documented methods, live streaming, like what we're doing right now. Okay, I should probably have my YouTube up on the side, or at least my YouTube chat, since I don't have a phone. Where's my chat? Okay. Okay, great. All right. So that's our multiplicative teaching setup as well. Okay. Now let's move on fastly. We got the fifth one, which is our platforms and ecosystems. This is where you contribute to the environment where you are. Like, this is how you provide value for free. I believe this is like your social medias, your communities, your marketplaces, your operating systems. Wherever you provide creative value to, this is where your platform and ecosystem lives. Your email listings, this is the place of value as well that you need to be thinking about. Okay. Secondly, is the cultural and narrative. Did I spell cultural correct? No. How do you spell cultural? Okay, great. And Okay, your cultural and narrative value. Okay, this is through consistent public work, storytelling, demonstrations. Your shift how you group people to think about things possible. Okay, this is how you really build a loyal following. This is what we need to master with all these four. Okay, um, how much is that so far? That is like six. Um, let's think about our generational structural. Did I spell that right? Generational has structural value. Okay, so this is like the longest horizon you're thinking about this long term. That's what I mentioned in the beginning of the stream. I'm thinking about this for a 10 years stretch. Okay, so I want to make sure that I provide all this type of value to whoever decides to consume what I put down. Okay, in order for them to feel like they're getting what they asked for, I have to make sure as a curator that I'm providing the best of the best that I can. Okay, so all this is connected back to the types, the form of values. Okay, so all this is connected back into this system right now. Okay, so we understand that we are one person, right? We're connected to providing value that we want. We're a one person business, right? And we're trying to connect value into the marketplace by being this type of form of individuals. Can I structure this any differently? Mm, maybe not. Okay, but you get the idea. Okay, so that's what's most important, that we understand. Top of chat. Why is my stream quality so low? I have something in my nose. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, I'm back. I have a piece of hair in my nose. Okay, so we understand this part, okay? You understand that we are a one person business. The service types that we need to provide are a done for you, a done with you, and a done by you, right? And the form of value that we're going to provide from this is the directional transaction value, the productized packaging value, the system and process value, the multiplication teaching value, the platform and ecosystem value, and the cultural and narrative value, and also the generational and structural value. Okay? Hmm.